Hi, this is the third in a series covering the painting of one picture, from almost the beginning to the final brushstroke. So it's coming along now. All I've done since the last one that's not on the video is I've actually put some cadmium red various points of the canvas, and now I'm actually working just in black and basically outlining. This can be pretty hard because the temptation is to switch off and just outline everything that's there, and it's very easy to do, and that's about the worst thing you can do for a painting, otherwise it'll just become very, very static. So you've got to put as much thought into each line as you would into any other part of the painting. Again, this brings out the geometry and the shapes. It's a very satisfying part because black also really makes the colours pop, which you can't see from this video, but when you're actually working on the picture it makes a big difference. My first art teacher, going back to when I was 15 and 16, used to hate black, and she would tear apart any painting that I did that used black. I've always liked it. She said there was always plenty of other tones and that it was just a lazy decision. Anyway, continuing to work on this figure here. I like the way the figures are interacting. The more I'm bringing this out, the more I like it. The three on the side I'm working on at the moment, their hands actually come together, and I'm not sure if I like that. It wasn't intentional, and I've only just realised it. So that might get altered later on, or not. We shall see. So I'm bringing it out now anyway, emphasising it just so that I can get a really good look at it. Again, it goes back to this this ongoing conversation with the painting. The painting dictates what it wants. It's basically up to the artist just to do it. Yep, that yellow probably won't survive. I'm probably going to tone that down a little bit. Haven't quite worked out how yet. So now just defining his shoe a little bit better. Right, those three figures are now pretty well obvious. Right. Yeah, that when I reach behind the painting, it's just water. We've got a big tub of water back there, so this just stops everything drying out. The other thing, this is the first part of the painting that I'm actually working with a soft brush, as opposed to a hard bristle. Normally work with hard bristle. Sometimes there is a difference in the quality of the line, and for this painting, I wanted the slightly more expressive line that you'll get from a soft brush. The hard brush will do exactly what you tell it to. It just transfers straight to the canvas. A softer brush gives a more sort of more the feeling of calligraphy, and it just produces slight curves, and it's hard to explain. Very, very different, and very easy to tell what's been painted with what. A bit more work on the hair. I haven't even decided what I'm going to do with the faces yet, and often with painting, always with painting, if you don't know, if you haven't got a pretty definite idea of what you're trying to achieve, it'll end up in a mess. So at some point you just have confidence that the painting will speak, that at some point it'll become very obvious what to do with the faces, but it's too early in the process now. Not the same for every painting by any means, but this particular one it is. So I don't panic, I just carry on. It'll probably be the last thing that goes in. So yeah, I'm just reaching behind for some water, moistening the brush, still working with the soft brush. Right. Now we're doing the high jumper. Again, just bringing the figure out slightly. Again, this helps me to see the painting. So now there we go, we've got the 5 figures now are pretty clear. Well, by my standards they're pretty clear, not probably by a photorealist's standards, but hey. Right, so now this is where it sort of gets a bit more interesting, because it's a matter of which of the abstract elements to start picking out. And obviously using the black, the lines make a big difference, and they really guide the eye, they really affect the geometry. One thing I didn't realise until after this point was that this composition has actually ended up being a very circular composition. That will come out more towards the end. But taking the leg of the main figure, the semicircle, that can almost be seen as forming a central point, and then there's concentric rings around there. Completely unintentional, and sometimes that can be good or it can be bad. If it's too obvious, it might completely take away from the painting. In this case, I think it's going to work. I think it makes for quite a strong composition. So, even though it's not figurative in the true sense, composition and compositional elements are still very, very important. So here we're extending certain lines, deciding again where to end a line. It's not arbitrary. The line will tell you where it wants to end. You can see here that one just crossed through. This is where if you switch off and just phone it in, it's very easy just to follow the outlines that are already there. This really has to be avoided. I like this sort of gestural approach. But this is the point where the painting now, almost in the space of a couple of minutes, really starts to make sense, and you get an idea of what the end result's going to look like. Spot the Cubist influence, along with the rest of 20th century art. I don't think I've quite made it into the 21st century yet though. Working on it. I'd love to do conceptual art, it's just I'm not very good at it. Anyway, just a little bit again around these banisters. I really like these banisters because they're completely abstract. And it's a matter of going in and attacking them as if they're a shape and geometry. It's not a matter of making them look like banisters or railings. It's a matter of making them add to the painting. One of my favourite quotes is the famous Picasso one that anyone can paint a yellow circle, or no, I'll get that right in a minute. Anyone can turn the sun into a yellow circle, but only an artist can turn a yellow circle into the sun. There. Was that really worth the effort? Anyway, I'm actually enjoying myself here. This is the part where I really get into the painting. So, right, that was a quick change. This is a detail, just so it's hard to tell from the other view, but you can actually see that it's quite rough, that the strokes aren't as refined as you probably thought they were. And this is the whole painting front on without the peculiar perspective thing. So it is coming together. One more session, I think, and we'll probably just about be there. I did do a little bit of work after the camera was turned off, mainly on the front figure. You can see the lines on the pants and the shirt. Thanks for watching, and more next time.